Going, everyone. Happy Labor Day. I hope that y'all are enjoying it by getting nice time off, spending it with family, or, all of our favorite thing to do, playing video games. I mean, that is certainly how I am spending it. I mean, it's Labor Day. I gotta do some labor, right? Yeah. So, we got another review. Let's talk about Danganronpa 3. So, if you've watched any of these videos before, you know I have been playing through Danganronpa Decadence, the trilogy, when they re-released the remastered versions earlier this year. So, I played the first one on Xbox Game Pass. I was trying to wait. I was hoping the second one was going to come on Game Pass, that I would never, end up feeling the need to buy any. And I was like, I'll just go ahead and get this on Switch. What happened, 3 weeks after I got it, the second one went on to Game Pass too, but, whatever. It's fine. Not a big deal. Okay, let's talk about Danganronpa 3, though. So, actually, real quick, let's go back a minute. I loved Danganronpa 1. If you want to go back and watch that review, it's back here. It's in that backlog somewhere on this channel. I love the first Danganronpa. It was great. The story was super fucked up, but it was fun. It was different. It had a good mystery involved, and it was fun gameplay. There's not a ton of gameplay in Danganronpa, but I really enjoyed the trials. I enjoyed running around getting to know people. I enjoyed the mystery of it. I liked the first Danganronpa. The second one didn't do it for me. I was pretty cool on the second one. I think a lot of it is that, the first one, you have a mystery. You want to know what's happening. Who's behind this? How are they behind it? How is Monokuma being controlled? And once you find the answer to that, I was worried about the second one because I was like, what's going to be the hook? What's going to be the thing to get me here? What's the mystery? And, they tried some stuff, but honestly, it didn't hit like the first one did. So we get to the third one, and I was really hoping, please tell me that this third one, they come up with some kind of good idea, something different, something that really grabs you, that makes me go, okay, this captures me like the first one did, but it's also something interesting enough and new that it was worth playing the third game. It didn't happen. I don't know if I'm coolest on the third one. I don't know if I'm cooler on the third one than the second one, but I'm cool on the third one too. I do not recommend it. So the third one, same premise, group of teenagers, group of ultimates, they're locked away, killing game begins, so on and so forth. Yes, Monokuma is there. Now we have an addition to Monokuma, which is Mono Cubs, which are ran as Monokuma's children, which are, Monokuma is annoying, but in a funny, haha, I appreciate this stupid, annoying kind of way. The Mono Cubs were just fucking obnoxious and annoying, and they're all babyfied. They're in diapers. They have the pacifiers in their mouth. I didn't like it. It was weird. It was uncomfortable, especially with some of the places that they take the Mono Cubs. There's a pregnancy at one point. It's fucking weird, man. I did not like it. It did not do it for me in any way, shape, or form. It was not a good idea. It could have been, but the direction they went with it didn't do it for me. The killing game itself, there wasn't really anything new here. That they try to add new gameplay bits. When you get to the trials, new ways of trying to deduce things. I did there's a car way of deduction, where it's kind of so in the second game you have where it's you're on a snowboard and then you go the paths to decide hey, we're putting this in the logical steps. I liked the car game. It was, it was fun enough. It was fine. Generally the mystery was, it was the same mystery that we've been doing, hope, despair, who killed who's, what are their motivations, what are the motivation videos, what are the motives in order to get a murder to happen? Oh, a murder's not happening fast enough, whatever. Some of these characters were pretty interesting. I will say that. There were a couple characters that I found interesting. I liked their story. I wanted to see them go forward, that I was rooting for. They weren't all obnoxious where I was like, I want you to die, I want you to die, I want you to die, which does happen. Sadly, a lot of the people that I wanted to die the most were not the ones that died, but, that tends to be how it goes. I'm not the one that writes the characters. But at the end of the day, it just didn't grab me. It got even weirder, The first one kind of toes that line of some of the kind of pervy things that anime can kind of hint at or get into, but it was okay. It didn't cross the line. It was straddling it, but it was... The second one, we had some of that, the randomly walking up and watching the girls in the shower. Why did we have to do that? It didn't make any sense to me. And then this one, there's just a random fucking incest storyline. I don't know why. What was the need to add the incest storyline? But it was there. if you play the third one, or if you already played the third one, you know what I'm getting at, right? So I don't know why they added some of the things in they needed to add. I wanted them to add in a more compelling story, something more interesting, not just fucking weird shit. And that was the most frustrating part of Danganronpa 3 and Danganronpa 2. Really, is like the first game was so good, it had such great ideas, and instead of finding or coming up with new, better ideas, they just were like, let's come up with weirder ideas, but not like good weird, not like esoteric weird, or not like, thoughtful weird, but it was just like pervy weird. And I don't know, it wasn't necessary. I didn't like it. And the ending of the game, I will give them this: the ending of the game tried to do something. It did not hit for me. I did not like the ending of the game, but they did. They tried to do something with it. I'll give them that. The ending, I'm not going to spoil anything, but the ending just got very meta. It got a little bit fourth wall breaking. It did a little bit of admonishment, like, you're the problem here. It did some of that, and if they had hinted that an ending like this was coming throughout the whole game, like you could kind of see it working towards something like this, I'm not saying give it away, but work towards it, then maybe I could have dealt with it. But it didn't. It just kind of seemed to come out of left field, and all of a sudden it was just boom, meta. And it didn't work for me. So overall, what is Jordan's recommendation? Here's the recommendation. If you have Game Pass, go play Danganronpa 1. If you don't have Game Pass, go play Danganronpa 1. Killing Harmony is the third one. Excuse me. Trigger Happy Havoc, that's the first one. Go play the remastered version of that one. I do not recommend getting Danganronpa Decadence because it comes with all 3 games in the trilogy, and I do not think the second and third one are worth playing. Don't fall into the same trap I did, where you're like, oh my gosh, the first one is so good, I want more of this, it's going to be awesome. It's not. It's not. It's a trap. It's a trap. Admiral Akbar here. It's a trap! It's a trap. The first one is really good. It needed to stop with the first one. The first one had a lot of good ideas that it's one of those stories where it's so good the first time, you want there to be a second one. I was so happy that there was more than one. I wanted so badly to play them. They weren't good. The ideas were perfect for a one-shot, and it was so good in that one shot if you only play the first one. The other two will just overshadow and not make you look back on the first one as brightly, because the first one is really damn good. I will probably play the first one again at some point in my life. The second and third ones, I do not intend to ever touch again. And that's where I'm at with it. So y'all take that in mind. Give me a like. Give me a comment. Give me a follow for more reviews. And we will hit more of this later. Y'all have a good rest of your Labor Day.